What is going on, YouTube? I've decided to start something new here. I normally do a show about crypto, but I'm also a big sports fan. I'm I live in St. Louis. I'm actually from Texas, but I do live in St. Louis. So that being the case, I am a fan of the Cardinals. I am a fan of SLU basketball. I am also a fan of our new XFL team, the Battlehawks, which I have to say they're doing very well right now. We're 1-1, which is great. I believe that the XFL will be able to succeed because I believe this time around, I think what the problem was last time was their branding. I think people were thinking it was going to be like the WWE, and I don't know. I think it just wasn't perceived very well. It wasn't really perceived as being professional. I think this time around, I think that with the XFL being branded as professional football, I think it does automatically give it more legitimacy, more respect. And I really believe that this league is going to succeed. I believe that pro football needs more than just the NFL. We have the CFL, the Canadian Football League, which has been a great success. And I believe that these leagues that are kind of adjacent to the professional football, like the NFL, I think the NFL needs these other leagues, like these developmental leagues, for players to, I don't know, players that maybe didn't really get a chance. Maybe they were not drafted. Kind of like our quarterback, Jordan Tamiu. This guy is amazing. I have a feeling I actually picked up his rookie card for $20 back in December. My brother actually got it for me for Christmas. And it's a 2019 Contenders autograph, cracked ice, numbered to 23. We paid $23 for it. This is just to give you an example of how well this guy's doing, okay? A couple of months ago, we picked it up back in, I think, mid-December. $23 they sold it for. Today, well, it's not on eBay right now, but there was somebody who had it for 120 and then kind of lowered the price to 92. But if you think about that, it went from $23 to $92. So that kind of gives you an idea. This guy is a very mobile quarterback. I mean, the last game I saw him play, it was incredible. It's like it looked like he was going to get sacked, and it looked like he tripped, but he was able to regain his composure, and he was able to still make something out of nothing. I mean, he still gained positive yards. I mean, it was just incredible. I really believe Jordan Tamiu, he is one of the our local sports people believe he's the number 3, one of the number 3 best quarterbacks in the XFL. Now, I saw on Google that the national people believe he's the fifth best quarterback in the XFL. I believe actually Tamiu played briefly for the Houston Texans. He was not drafted, but he did play for the Texans, and I don't know what the grounds were for him being released, but he was released, and then the Battlehawks picked him up. He won the starting job, and I've been very impressed. To say that I feel like I made a pretty darn good investment is kind of an understatement. I believe that there's going to be not just Jordan Tamiu, there's going to be quite a bit of players out there that can actually prove themselves. They could go work their butts off, play hard in the XFL, and that will get, like the draft is coming up real soon. The April draft is coming up, and there are going to be teams that are very interested, and there's a lot of teams out there, believe me, that need a quarterback. And I don't want to say you could get Temu at a cheap price. I'm sure he's going to want to be fully compensated for his talents, but if you don't want to have to pay like Tom Brady type numbers, because you know Tom Brady is going to get a lot of money. If you don't want to, if you want to take a chance on Temu, I say right now is a good time. Now, quite frankly, I don't really want to see him leave. I would love for him to be able to get to the NFL because I know that's probably his end game. But it's really awesome for me because I live here in St. Louis and I plan on going to a game this year. I'm hoping that'll actually happen because when the season first started, well, the ticket prices were in the 20 range and the prices have just gone up crazy. So, yes, the views did, from what I understand, the views have declined a little bit from week 1 to week 2, but I believe the reasoning for that was with week 1, there was more network availability. More networks were covering because it was opening weekend. Now that it's the second weekend, I think one of the problems is because I don't know, maybe people like to check it out, see what it's about, but now there's fewer networks going to be covering it. I believe right now it's ABC, Fox Sports Midwest, or one of the Fox Sports networks. I'll have to double check that to make sure. But I really believe though the XFL will make it this time because of their rebranding. I think that I don't know. I think it's gonna be much better. The key is now last weekend, week 2, with the exception of Temu and PJ Wallace, I believe that's his name. If it's wrong, I do apologize. But our opponent, I believe that's who it was. That quarterback was incredible too. And the quarterback play for the most part though kind of left a little bit to be desired. And I think if we can correct that, the key is for the XFL, in order for the XFL to make it, what we need to do is we do need to keep the good quarterback play up. We do need to try to get better. The bottom line is we got to score points, guys. I mean, we got to get to the point where it's continuing. You got to keep people's attention. You got to grab their attention. You got to keep it. In order for the XFL to succeed, it has to be entertaining and fun. You gotta have people looking forward, thinking in the back of their mind, I can't wait till week 3. I can't wait till week 4. I'm looking forward to the championship game. You gotta keep people fired up. Because if people start getting bored with it and people start, I don't know, just like, okay, I don't care anymore. You don't want that to happen because it will fold up like a tent, guys. The XFL needs to continuously have talent coming in. You can't just be, it's almost like you have to make it a continuous challenge. Okay, how bad do you want your job? Just like at my job, you always have to perform well. Because believe me, and I'm sure it's the same way at your job, if you don't perform well and you do a terrible job, there's always somebody out there that can replace you. Don't ever think for 1 minute you cannot be replaced. Anybody can be replaced at any time. And you don't want to get to the point where you get comfortable and you're like, well, I think I'm all right. I think, I think it's no big deal. I think I'm going to be here for many, many years. I'll retire here. No. They need constant quarterback competition. They need to be bringing people in and saying, hey, I want to try out. Hey, I want to, I want to. They got to continue to have good to really above average quarterback play. In order for the league to survive, the quarterback is the leader of the team. In order for the league to survive, you got to have good quarterbacks. If you have mediocre to crappy quarterbacks, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're just not going to do very well. When you keep having, you know, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, kick it on 4th down. When you're not scoring touchdowns and when you're not scoring points, people are going to become very bored with it. People have an enough short attention span. Anything else is going to catch their eye. And if it's not fun and exciting, guys, it's just not going to work. So I think one of the big key things they need to do is have continuous quarterback competition. Maybe it sounds silly. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But for me, you don't want to just say, okay, this guy is your guy, and that's it. This is the way it's going to be the entire year. Now, I know that that's what contracts are for the NFL, but you're the XFL and you're kind of brand new, and you're trying to make your way and you're trying to gain traction. And my way of thinking is, if you're not necessarily replace these guys, maybe I should rephrase that. Not just get rid of these guys who are not playing well. Try to continue to improve. I mean, I know it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but you got to somehow keep people's interest with this. You got to score points. That is what people want to see. People want to see touchdowns. I mean, people want to see. Myself, I would rather see a touchdown than a field goal. I mean, so yeah, field goals, yeah, they do help you win the game, but for me, I would prefer to see a touchdown. So, I think this league will continue. I think at least for the next couple of years. And I think as the quality gets better and better, I think we're going to be fine, guys. So let's take a look at this little bit of, they have kind of numbers here. Let's see. XFL draws 2.3 million viewers on Fox, 1.4 million on Fox Sports 1, I believe that's what that is. Let me see if there's anything more relevant here. Now, I'm not really seeing. I'm going to wrap this up here in just a second, but in short, guys, I think this league is going to be great. We need a developmental league that's going to give guys a chance like Temu, who didn't get drafted, but maybe that team like the Texans didn't really have time or the money or whatever the reasoning is. They just didn't have the time to see what he had. But now that he's on a team like the Battlehawks and players like him, they will have more of an opportunity to showcase their talent in the XFL.
XFL Week 2 saw a reduction in ratings for both Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, it was true apples to apples, 2 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Hey, 1 week to the next, a drop of more than a third in the ratings from 3.3 million down to 2.127 million. On Sunday, the drop wasn't as great. Now, the game went from ESPN Week 1 on Sunday to ABC Week 1 on Sunday. It was down 103,000. Not a surprise that they were down. The Saturday number is kind of alarming to me. The Fox numbers I haven't seen yet, and the longer that it goes without the Fox numbers for Week 2 coming out makes me think that there's nothing to brag about, or they'd be bragging about them, right? So, Chris, maybe you should watch this weekend just to pump up the ratings a bit. You're a Nielsen household, aren't you?
Yeah, no, not exactly. And it's highly unlikely. And because I think exactly what we've talked about is what's going to happen with the XFL. There's just nothing there to tune in to go, ooh, I want to see this. What is that?